Book 5.
Book 5. Here we are.
All right. I'll just try and wing it a little bit. But first off, can you tell us anything about the series?
Generally speaking?
Yes, generally speaking.
What Red Rising is?
Yes.
Okay, so Red Rising.
Where it's at and stuff like that.
So
No, I mean the TV series.
Oh, TV series. Okay, I was confused.
Yeah, where that
well,
is.
you know,
where
I'll be making an announcement pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
I think that, you know, getting all your ducks in a row before you do a press release or something is always a good
True.
maxim to have, I guess, when you deal with Hollywood, because everything can just fall out of production so fast.
Very true.
And, you know, getting an option doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And even selling it to a studio doesn't mean anything. It means something to selling it to a network.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so when we have all that lined up, I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you hold up the book cover here, can you tell us the significance of the cover?
Well, this book is about all the warring factions. Sorry, all the warring factions that have been unleashed on the solar system. So it's really a bed of snakes. But there's also a lot of duplicity, and you'll see some more of the metaphors within it. I don't want to give too much away. You're asking all the hard questions right up front. You're not even easing into it.
No,
you're right off the bat.
we're at
Give
book 5.
me spoilers.
I'm like, we're at book 5. I mean, people want to know the good stuff, you know. This is the easy one. What's the time frame between Iron Gold and Dark Age, or is it immediately?
It's as little as a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
So it's a quick transition. It's the quickest transition I've ever had in any of my books.
Yeah.
You know, from Red Rising to Golden Sun is about a year.
Yeah.
From Golden Sun to Morning Star is about a year again. And 10 years from Morning Star to Iron Gold, and it's a couple weeks.
Nice.
So really, Iron Gold's really a setup in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Reestablishing the world.
Yeah.
Opening up new avenues for the characters to go down thematically and in terms of their plot arcs, and really just stirring it all into one big gumbo pot.
Sounds good. I love it.
Gumbo? I love gumbo too.
Gumbo,
yeah,
it's awesome.
It's
yeah. So we got some new characters from Iron Gold, Lysander, and Lysander's older now than Lyria.
POV characters, certainly.
Exactly. So their views, you know, since Red Rising, like they had these views that since the new changes, they kind of like the way things were before. You know, Lyria liked it in their minds apparently, and Lysander, you know, obviously.
I mean, it's not bad being the heir of Empire.
No, exactly. So will their views be even more challenged? I'm assuming
there will be, but I mean, Iron Gold was also somewhat of a commentary on how readers read books. If you think about when you're progressing to a new, conflict, characters feel nostalgic for the past the same way readers do.
Yeah.
Things were better before you start the plot like this, but this story doesn't have a clean ending. You know what I mean? It's not a.
Yeah.
It was going that way in book 3 of the last series, and I felt like it was insincere to the overall world of Darrow, because it's all about shades of gray, isn't it? It's all about the permutations of what evil and good are, and if they even exist in that, you know, holistic idea.
Yeah.
But these characters are reminiscing about the past because they understood that world. And this new world, while it's hard, and while there's more freedom, while there's a broken regime, and, you know, the new republic led by Virginia, it's still in a state of flux, still in a state of change. And I think that the characters are obviously going to look for that solid foundation when they were kids, and be reminiscent, nostalgic for that. And I think it's natural for them to grow up, and this is the book where they both grow up, Lyria, Lysander, and even Ephraim in some ways. Yeah, so I'm glad you keyed in on those themes. And if you look at Iron Gold doesn't have a villain. Darrow is the villain for the 3 POV characters, is not him.
He was. I actually found it to be very interesting the way that he was just hell-bent on doing the things that he felt like.
Well, he wants to finish the war. The guy's tired. He's carried all these people's hopes and dreams on his shoulders for so long, and he can feel the love waning. He can feel the affection and the loyalty slipping away. And I think that's because few people are as willing to make the sacrifices
that he,
to the extent that he is.
Yeah.
And I think at a certain point, you take some responsibility for the Rising. He knows all the horrors he created, but he also knows the chance he created for freedom.
Yeah.
And so I think he just wants to finally end the box of horrors, like put a lid on it and finish this war. Obviously, a little bit more difficult than he had anticipated.
Yeah, true. In this book, will you be introducing any new characters?
Oh yeah, there's tons of new characters. Not new POVs. Mustang will be a POV in this guy, so she will be. So there'll be 5 POVs all told, but that's the only new POV edition.
That was
the book just kept getting thicker and thicker. So I agree.
I was like, is that why it's over 700 pages?
Yeah, I told my editor I was going to do possibly another POV in this, and she just said no, flat out no. Didn't even want to hear it.
I mean, it's hard enough doing one.
I don't know. I think I have a penchant for self-punishment.
Yeah, true. I believe that. Can you give us hints about like any of those new characters?
Any of the new characters? Yeah. One of them is Atlas Al-Ra, who is the brother of Romulus.
Yeah.
The much more militant brother of Romulus, who was kept as a ward under the Sovereign's regime on Luna, and is far more loyal to society than his brother is. So finally we get to see what Ra's do in combat and how they wage war, and it is, whew, he's a nasty opponent.
You love writing those battle scenes. I
do, but I don't like. I get really bored in battle scenes unless there's a big emotional component. So I feel like the emotional arc has to have the same peaks and valleys as the battle arc, because unless you're going into a battle with expectations of emotional resolution, one way or the other, with characters either coming crossing streams or coming to a head, or a character facing inner fears or their own insecurities, whatever it is. It has to be enjoying the battle. You can't just write a battle.
Yeah.
And so I don't actually like writing battle scenes. I find that my favorite moments are the quiet, small ones.
Okay.
But the battle scenes have to be really earned, and this earns its battle scenes.
Okay, well, there are battle scenes, and then there are the one-on-ones.
Oh, but one-on-ones I always love. That's
Cassius
so fun.
versus,
it's so fun, but it's so hard to get them all in the same room.
I was gonna say,
because they're in spaceships with millions of men, and they're not stupid. So why would they ever come face to face?
Right.
And you got to come up with some clever reasons for them to come face to face.
How did you write up Cassius's
battle scene, his duels with the Ra?
Yes.
Ah, man, I don't even remember. I think I just went into a fugue state and like emerged on the other side.
Did you just like drink a whole bottle of Jack Daniels and just go at it or something like that?
Probably Lagavulin 16, which is really peaty and gives me headaches. So I was probably like, trying to finish it out. Yeah, I actually started with there's a conversation with Lysander and Cassius before he goes down to the battle scene. And that was actually my favorite moment of it.
Okay.
Is that because we finally unpack Cassius's character.
Yeah.
And what Lysander and me together. That conversation is worth like almost 100 pages of showing stuff, and it's literally them just their relationship coming to a head. Cassius realizing and fearing his failed Lysander abdicating his connection with Cassius to a degree.
Yeah. And
it's the death of a relationship. And then what follows the duel is in many ways just putting a nail in it, and that is. It almost writes itself at that point, because you have to build up the momentum.
For sure. Okay, so you have a couple of really strong other characters, female characters. We have Volga.
Only a couple?
I'm narrowing down. I'm being very, very big.
Sure.
You have Volga.
My sweet teddy bear.
Yes.
I love that girl.
And Victra.
My not so sweet teddy bear. She'd be like hugging a crocodile.
Will we get a chance to see them interact at all?
I think we can expect a little bit of that. Maybe.
Considering what's happened to Elektra and...
I think we could see some of that indeed.
All right.
I'm gonna glide past that one.
Okay. You have there on the side House Grimace.
Symbol of the Ash Lords, evil.
Why House Grimace?
Why House Grimace?
On on that book.
I think you'll see their imprint
rather
large. Well, they've taken over the Society Remnant.
Okay.
The Ash Lord obviously being done away with in the last book, but Atalantia has risen to her prime. And Atalantia wasn't a woman who thought she would ever go into the military. She was more a creature of silk, spies, whispers, poisons. And now she's thrust into the limelight and has to prove herself to people that didn't believe that she could ever be capable of taking up the mantle that Aja was supposed to take up from their father. And now that Magnus is dead, Aja's dead, Moira, their other sister, who's the spy master, is dead.
Oh, okay.
The only one left in House Grimace is Atalantia. So will she see her house be destroyed with her, or will she make a second, I'd say, pivot point for the Gold Empire?
I see. That sounds like something between her and...
I have nothing to say about this. Nothing to say about that.
All right,
You're on track. All the things you're bringing up were somehow on my mind when I wrote this. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, they're very powerful, impressionable books. So, you know, I'm just like...
This is probably the hardest one I've written, but
I was gonna say.
possibly my favorite.
Really?
Golden Sun was my favorite before, and this one is kind of Golden Sun meets Iron Gold. That same scope as Iron Gold, but intensity scene to scene as Golden Sun was.